I still see one or two people who just so happen to be on Zwift as a race is starting, and firstly, they're unsure what the heck is going on, and secondly, they're asking how to get involved. So here's my guide on making sure you're prepared for your first race. Now, getting into a race takes a little bit of preparation, and it does help if you're on Facebook. Remember, these races are set up by members of the Zwift community out of the love they have for it, so try and respect that. First thing you need to do is find out when a race is on. Simply go to the Zwift Riders page, there's a link in the description below. Go to the event section and there you'll see a whole host of events. Click on the event you want to explore and open up the rules of the race. There you'll find all the information you need, from the date, the time it starts, make sure you check your time zones, the amount of laps, which direction, pretty much everything you need to know prior to starting a race. Now, two important things to know are the kit colours and name change. Now, this race was the Fox and Hounds, or commonly known as a handicap race. Basically, the slower riders, like me, head off up the road, and then 5 or so minutes later, it's the job of the faster riders to catch us. It was such a great concept, such a great race, I loved it. My point was that during this race, the Foxes were requested to wear a certain type of kit so they could easily be identified. So go to the custom tab in Zwift and select the relevant kit. Don't worry if you've not unlocked it. If you check out titaniumgeek.com, again, link in the description below, he should have all the unlock codes you need. When it comes to changing your name, there's actually 2 ways to do it. First and foremost, you can go straight into Zwift, click on the pencil to edit your name. Again, the race organizer will stipulate what your name needs changing to. For this race, it was simply ZTR, followed by Fox if you were a Fox, or Hound if you were a Hound. Once that's done, I normally log out and then log back in just to make sure the changes are updated. Or you can always change it on your smartphone. Simply log into the app, into settings, and then edit that profile in there. If you're unsure where your race abilities lay, the Zwift community has set these guidelines as a general rule. Anyone with an FTP under 2.4 watts per kilo should start in the D group. The C group is anywhere between 2.5 watts per kilo and 3.1. The B group, 3.2 watts per kilo up to 3.9 watts per kilo, and the A group will be anybody with an FTP higher than 4.0 watts per kilo. So don't let your ego take over, guys. The groups are just there so you can get the most out of your racing and hopefully race against people with similar abilities. If you do have the time, I'd suggest getting on around 30 minutes before the race, just to get the legs warm, get yourself prepared. If that's the case, don't worry too much about where you are on the island, because I suggest once you've warmed up, log out and then log back in again so your values reset to 0 and your results are going to be easier to find on Strava. So when you do log back in, try and find someone with the race code by their name and check that they're stationary. Click on the name and then click ride with them. That'll normally put you somewhere near the start line, and then from there, simply wait for the race leader to say, ride on. If you want to check out my guide on race rollout etiquette, click on the left box. If you want to see last week's race highlights, click on the right hand box, and if you haven't already, click that subscribe button.